Hello, welcome to our book review. Interesting ideas. I found this book, Gut. So, kinds of like takeaways that I found. I'll start with a quick review. So, this book overall gets probably 3. That's my average number, always 3. Mostly, not always, but most books are 3, which makes sense. But other than that, it's like too much jargon. Second of all, the narrator is British, so it doesn't make it any better, and not only the accent, it's even the way she talks. It's just like not going well with my brain. So that was like a little hard there. In addition, there's like some better episode and some not so good episodes. Some of them are harder to understand, some of them are not. So again, if you don't know all the names of everything, some of the episodes will be a little overwhelming. It was a little bit for me. I didn't try too much to understand, but she could definitely make it a little more simple for other people to understand. Let's see the notes. First one is, our saliva contains painkillers compounds. So usually this is why many animals, when they get hurt, they lick their wounds because that helps. It's used as a painkiller, simply. During sleep, we are not producing a lot of saliva. So that's sometimes you can wake up in the morning, your mouth is dry. So sometimes it's better to just drink in advance and other solutions. One theory of why we are tired after lunch is because if we are not active, our body uses all energy to digest the food. So this is your body, in other words, trying to tell you, lay down, I'll use all the energy to digest the food, because this is not an easy task to do, especially if you eat a lot. The more you eat, the more energy you need, and also especially if you do that, if it's dinner, it's the last meal of the day, you're already a little tired, so your body needs even more energy. Or not more, but you will be more tired. Before vomiting, there is usually a big amount of saliva in the mouth in order to protect the teeth from acidic vomiting. I was wondering why usually it happens, and I got that was illuminating. So before vomiting, this is more saliva is produced to protect the teeth, because your stomach acid is not good for the teeth. It's a good solution. We might vomit when everything is spinning fast, because usually means that you just ate something bad. That was interesting. So usually when you, let's say, go to those places, you just like spin around fast. As kids, you're a little better, but you easily could get nausea. The reason is that usually if everything moves fast, it means just you ate something that is not good for you, so you better throw up. Animals that cannot vomit have different eating habits. They eat small quantities and wait until keep eating. So I think it's mice. What they do, they can vomit. They don't have that system or that mechanism. So what they do, they eat a little bit, see what happens. It's like trial and error. See what happens. If it's good, they come back. But usually they just bite a little bit and then they come back. Smart. Nausea might be created for a specific food after vomiting in order to warn you about that food. So this is why nausea. Why do you need nausea? Why nausea is created in the first place? For specific food after vomiting in order to warn you about that food. So this is used as some kind of a warning. But next time you don't get nausea even before eating. So you come close to that plant, you get nausea, and you remember to not eat that plant, because otherwise you just need to remember too much stuff. So probably this is like a shorter way certain microbes are equipped to deal with different types of food. So not all microbes are good for every food. They have their own preferences. In order to get new bacteria into your gut, there has to be a comfortable environment for them, and they should like the food on the menu. So that's like and correspond with the note here before. So if you want to have different bacteria, usually you can just put them in. Even, let's say, for example, if you take probiotics, not necessarily will survive there, because if they don't have food they like on the menu, they cannot survive. So in some way they need to like the food on the menu. That's, I think, pretty close to the words she used, and that was like pretty good. Pretty put beautifully. Weird word. Next one is, too much and too little cholesterol is bad for you. Some people think, oh, I should have just 2. I shouldn't have anything at all. Apparently that's bad for you as well. There is a reason to use disinfectant. There is no reason to use disinfectants if there is no one sick in the house, since we will kill good and bad bacteria, which might lead to allergies. So she claims that you should not use disinfectants in the house unless someone is sick, which means that he has a lot of bacteria, but otherwise you should not. I think not even the floor. I remember about restrooms, but other than that, no using, because we killed good and bad bacteria. So this is similar to antibiotics. We kill everything, and this is not good. And some studies suggests that over cleanliness might lead to allergies. Bacteria cannot survive on dry surfaces or even dry food. So that's one of the reasons chips, for example, are surviving for longer. But on dry surfaces, bacteria does not survive. So that's good. If you dry the area, you should not be there. Around 60 to 70 degrees Celsius, so it's not Fahrenheit, most bacteria will die, even salmonella. So if you heat the food to about 60 to 70 degrees Celsius, which is pretty, it's a lot. It's not easy, and I think only like in an oven or something that produce heat. But most bacteria will die then, and even salmonella, which is supposed to be a little more resilient. That's the last one here. Antibiotics are not helpful with viruses. Cold is a virus, and treating it with antibiotics makes no sense. Many people are going to the doctor and they get antibiotics to combat a cold, which a cold, it's a virus. Antibiotics, it's antibacterial and not antivirus. So this is not helpful, and actually makes everything worse, because it also kills the good bacteria you have in your stomach or in your body in general. So that's it for notes. Again, 3 stars. She could use easier to understand. She could simplify some things and use less jargon and get a better narrator. That's the thing. Anyway, thank you.